Yeah, I may end up needing one more hand, but we'll see how this goes. Fragment. It's a better way to deal with broken packets. I'm Tim Panton. My current business card says I'm a protocol droid. Read into that what you will. So Fragment's basically a user-centric solution to a very common experience. You know, good stuff, the stuff you've ordered turns up and it's broken in some way. It either, the package is damaged or it just doesn't work or something like that. And the net result of that tends at the moment to be like a 10-day delay, because the supplier says, well, you have to ring them up and say, hey, it's broken. And you might speak to a real person or you might speak to an IVR. And anyway, you then have to give them like the package number and all this stuff. And they give you an RMA number, which you then, and maybe send you some packaging to put the thing back in and post back to them. And they inspect it when they get it, and they decide whether it's, what kind of fault it was. And then they replace it or they fix it and then send it back to you. The whole thing is like 10 days later. So you've got a series of pain points there. Well, the whole thing is just immensely frustrating. You order the damn thing, and you can't have it for 10 days. And a minor pain point is like typing in 10 digits or reading them down the phone is error-prone and irritating. And the other thing is that the process is essentially serial. That they have to wait until you have to wait until they've sent you the packaging, and they have to wait until you've sent it back, and then they can so it's a serial process. And part of the reason for that is that they want to assess the damage before they decide what to do. They need some kind of sense of what that damage was. So I thought about, what could you do about this? Well, the observation, and this was borne out by one of the telco people who is here, that in a lot of populations, something like half of the users already have smartphones. So instead of treating the phone as a dumb device, if they've got a smartphone, hey, can we take advantage of that? How can we make the customer's life better by using the fact that they've got a smartphone? Well, in this case, my claim is you can do that by using the camera. You can do that to read a QR code on the parcel, save them putting the 10-digit number in. But you can also let the customer service agent assess the damage remotely, immediately. So the process now is the user calls in, the IVR notices that it's a mobile call, and so it offers to send a link via SMS. The user clicks this link, the web page that they go to checks to see that they've got WebRTC on their browser, and if they have, then it uses that to read the barcode, and then it loads a second page, which then places a call to the customer service agent, and the customer service agent can see the damage, decide how to act on it, and then hopefully, same day, send out a new replacement, because it was obviously, their fault. So at this point, I do something really terrifying, and I try and do it, demo. Now, I have to find Chrome. Right. So the first step you won't be able to see, but hopefully you'll hear, because I plugged into the audio here, is we make a phone call to the IVR number, and with any luck.
Hello. Thank you for calling Fragment, the damaged packet helpline. I see you're calling from a mobile phone. I am now going to send you a link to our mobile website. If you hang up now and click the link from your Ubuntu or Android mobile phone, we will be able to help you soon. If you would rather register the damaged packet over the phone, please wait. Please input your 10-digit package number followed by a hash.
So what you can't see is that in the midst of that, I received an SMS, which I'm now going to browse to. So I do that. I look at the SMS, which again you can't see because we had AV problems. I'm plugging my phone into the video here. But now that I'm in launching Chrome by clicking that link, with any luck, we now get the ability to oh, come on. Oh, really? There we go. There we go. So we inspect the This is a fantastic Chrome feature, which I'd totally forgotten about, but I was kindly reminded by the Chrome developers team that you can do this. You can reflect your phone up into the browser. So now here's the screen that I'm seeing. I'm being offered the opportunity to scan the QR code. And amazingly, you can scan a QR code in JavaScript. Right? So WebRTC and JavaScript plugged together will scan that QR code. It did it. I got a little vibe to make sure that I knew that it had happened. It's now setting up this WebRTC call to allow me to show the customer service agent the damaged device, and they can then say, hey, right, yeah, that's obviously damaged. I can send you a replacement in the post immediately. Would you be so kind as to send the damaged one when you've done? So now let's see if we can get back to the pitch. There we go. So amazingly, my demo worked, so I think I can relax a little now. So the side notes here are, that was zero install. The phone user did not have to install anything they hadn't already got. I tried it on various Android phones. I wanted to try it on an Ubuntu phone, but I couldn't get my hands on one at the right time. I've tried it on Firefox OS phones, and it works on that. So it's a zero install thing. The other thing is its responsive design. So the screen layout looks at what's available and makes use of it, not only in terms of the pixel, but also whether there's WebRTC to be had. But it also respects the user choice. You may have noticed that in the menus and on the IVR, at all times, you were offered the option to go back to the old way. If you don't feel comfortable with sharing a video, not a problem. You just go with the current running process. And you have to wait 10 days. That's the price you pay. So there's a user benefit for going for the new stuff, but you don't have to. And the other thing that you can't see, but that's like absolutely critical, is the whole thing is knee-deep in web metrics. Every single step of that, every JavaScript action pretty much, has a Google Analytics hook on it. So if you go to Google Analytics, you can see the funnel. You can see who dropped out at what point, when people did what, under what circumstances, how long the calls were. All of those analytics are there for you to grab and work out maybe what's wrong with your process. So one of the questions that was asked is, what's your go-to-market on this? Well, it turns out that there's a detail in here that I haven't included in the demo that is patentable. So the idea is you patent that, and we license that to CRM suppliers. And I'm also in discussion with an unnamed WebRTC service provider who is interested in this facility. So what do they use for the hack? True phone SIM and data, thank you very much. A Voxbone number, Tropo for the IVR and SMS, Google Chrome Dev for the cast, and obviously for the WebRTC, and the ability to plug JavaScript, the wisdom, whoever it was who said, hey, these are just web resources, you can apply JavaScript to them in arbitrary ways on the canvas. Whoever did that was just so right. The laser QR guys for the ability to do the QR coding. I ran a customized fork of the Phono open source for the WebRTC real-time call because I needed to tweak down the bandwidth and make a few changes, and that's my customized thing. But hey, it's open source. That's what you do with open source. And some help from TruePhone and Google and the AV team to actually get the thing onto the screen there. So yeah, I'm Steely Glint on Twitter. The code is all on GitHub, both for the hack and for the modified Phono SDK. And anyone who has a UK phone number is welcome to ring that number and try it. So that's me.